Our channel. My goodness, it has been a while since we have put anything out on this channel. First of all, apologies for that. It has been a long time. We have had so much going on. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy, to be honest. Since our last video, which I believe was the boat disaster one, we're all fine. We were all fine after that. But yes, we have had just the most insane year or so. Yeah, it's been one thing after another, and yeah, I'm going to go through them in this video and hopefully give you a little bit of an update on what's been happening. The good thing is that it's given us so much content idea for this channel that's really fitting. So that's one good thing. So you guys should be getting loads of new videos, which will be really good. So a few things that we wanted to share. First of all, an update on Max. Goes without saying, you know, the whole reason we started this channel, ASD by the Sea, was because we love the sea, we live by the sea, and Max has ASD, which now we're this far into our ASD journey. It's funny because we don't like the term ASD so much anymore. Yeah, the whole disorder thing, you know, we've come to learn that that's not quite, you know, how we would like to describe, you know, who Max is and, you know, and whatnot. But it's the name of our channel and it's still very recognised, so we're just going to keep it for now. You know, we may change it later, but yeah, that's a whole other conversation. So there'll be a really big update on Max because so much has happened with him. Today I'm going to give you like a general update of what's been going on with everyone, especially with myself. We'll give you an update on the boat at some point and tell you all about what's been going on there. There's been changes to Max's sleeping patterns. Well, there's been quite a few changes since we last spoke to you, and there's been a change in his melatonin medication, so we'll have a chat about that. Jake has been well on his autism journey, to say the least, so we'll give you an update about that. That is a whole video in itself. We'll be talking about EHCPs, so if that's something you're interested in, make sure you do subscribe to the channel, because we're going to go really in depth, like I don't think we ever have done on our channel. And EHCPs are an absolute minefield, and you know, Max has had one since he was about 3. And he's 11 now, and I still struggle with them. I don't struggle, like, struggle's the wrong word, but they are full on. So if you are just starting out on your journey, I'm hoping that we'll be able to give some sort of insight and advice into an EHCP, because they are pretty intense. Alongside that, we'll be talking about school. So mainstream schools, special schools, homeschooling, and EOTAS, which is education otherwise than at school. So if that's something you're interested in, we're going to be doing a whole video on that as well. We're going to be talking reasonable adjustments in the workplace and at school and everywhere else in the world as well. We're going to be talking about my journey with the autism spectrum. I'll go into a little bit more about that in this video as well. And we're also going to be talking about, you know, things that go alongside an EHCP, so speech and language therapy, occupational therapy, play therapy, and all of those types of services, well, the ones that we have had involvement in for Max. So what on earth has been going on with us? Wow. Yeah, loads. Loads of things. The biggest notable things that I think are worth mentioning today is Max and school. Max's school has been an absolute roller coaster since our last video. It's been completely all over the place, and I think we did a video where Max went to school for 20 minutes. So if you watch that video and you remember that journey, you'll know that his school was already a bit of a disaster. But yeah, it's been a ride. He currently, theoretically, is on roller to school. In reality, is being taught at home by Jake. So that's a whole other, it needs a video in itself. The things I can talk about today is me. I have a couple of updates. So I am joining the boys on the spectrum journey. So a little while ago I went to the doctors because I really struggle with my mental health at just certain points of the year, and I always thought that I had I think it's called SAD, seasonal affective or associate disorder, or I don't know what the actual term is, but it's when the weather changes, my mental health kind of it really impacts on it. And for the longest time, I just assumed, because of all the things that have happened in my life, you know, all the struggles that we have day to day, and the weather changing, I just always assumed that that's just, you know, that's what it was. I had my mental health demons, and, you know, we had measures in place to put them at bay, and this, that and the other. And one day I was really irritated in the doctor's waiting room, and I just happened to mention it to the doctor, and she started asking me more questions and really delving into what I was saying to her. And she suggested to me for the first time that I could be on the autism spectrum, which I've never really considered, because the boys are the boys. You know, Max is very autistic, and, you know, we've been going through this journey with Jake, and I just never really considered that I could be on there as well. So I went with it, and I was like, okay, well, let's just see what happens. Didn't really think much of it, and then when the forms arrived, it was more to do with ADHD, which completely surprised me. So when I started doing some research on adult female ADHD, it was like every box was being ticked. I thought, oh my goodness, this is exactly, you know, this profile that I was being, you know, shown online of what adult female ADHD generally looks like. It was like someone had looked inside my brain. So I filled in all the forms, sent them back, and then have had like a couple of other things that I've had to do, like just different forms. I think one of them is only because they're changing a service provider or something. It's just, you know, more bureaucratic nonsense that, you know, that's what happens in life. So I am officially on the waiting list for an ADHD assessment, which, yeah, is what it is. It's not going to make any difference to my life, that diagnosis, other than perhaps understanding why I do things a certain way and why certain things affect me. But generally it doesn't really impact me in the same way like it does with the boys. I can function, you know, at least 85% of the time really well, and it's that 15% where I really struggle with my mental health. So, you know, I'm really hopeful that if I am diagnosed with ADHD, there'd be some sort of medication that can just balance that last bit out, and then I would be fully functioning and great. But if not, I'm actually really happy with the 85%, so that's good enough for me. So in addition to that, that's me, you know, personally, my health. I have had a bit of a career change. If you may or may not know that I have been working in management roles for the past 20 years. And my last job that I've just left, I was a senior manager for a commercial department for a further education provider, and I loved it. I was really happy there. I could have stayed there quite easily, and just, you know, cracked on, done the work every day, got the paycheck at the end of the month, and, you know, done the cycle all over again. But I've had this kind of like, it sounds really rubbish to say like a calling, but like I've just felt like there's something inside me that's being driven to do something else, and I've had this for such a long time that I decided to finally take the plunge. I gave 4 months notice, and as of this month I officially work for myself. I have my own business. It's a community interest company. It's called Organise Happy. So if you are interested, I'll leave the link to my website below. Basically, I try and make people happier, and it's all for free. So check that out. And I'm also now a full-time student again. I'm studying psychology. I want to eventually reach a doctorate in psychology, and the idea is just so that I have the credentials behind me to kind of practice what I preach, essentially, because I don't just want to be one of these, you know, wacky people from the internet that does these strange things. I actually want to be recognised in my field and make a difference in the world. So that's what's going on with me. So like I said at the beginning of the video, we've got so much to update you on. It would be impossible to do it in one video, so that's why I just wanted to give you a quick update about me in this video. But the boys definitely deserve their own videos, so we'll be doing those. So I just wanted to say hi and let you know what's going to be coming up, and it's lovely to be back and speaking to you all. And yeah, if you've got any questions, let us know. If you want us to answer anything specific, let us know in the comments. And yeah, we look forward to having lots of updates for you soon. Great to be back, and I'll see you soon, guys. Take care.